Hello, welcome to Some Notes on Style. I'm your host, Joseph. So what do you do when you want to dress in the style of the autumn season, wearing all kinds of warm, earthy colors and stylishly layered looks, but you live in a climate where the temperatures do not exactly translate to those crisp, balmy autumn days? We're often inundated this time of year with lookbooks and ad campaigns showing us picturesque fallen leaf-covered New England countryside, where temperatures this time of year dip well into the 60s and 70s, so warm flannel shirts and thick woolen sweaters start to become more and more of a necessity. But if you live in a warm part of the world like I do, where my October temperatures generally hover around the upper 80s and sometimes well into the 90s, oftentimes it can be quite difficult to achieve a true shift in your fall wardrobe without being drenched in sweat, which is what we're going to be taking a look at in today's episode: achieving a fall layered style by paying closer attention to materials and color palette so you can still enjoy the season without suffering a heat stroke along the way. So I'm going to present to you guys 8 general ideas to keep in mind, a handful of examples of where you can buy some of these pieces I'm talking about, and ultimately 30 outfit suggestions incorporating some of those pieces to help ease your closet into the early days of autumn. So let's jump on in. Number 1, instead of wearing heavy, scratchy wool tweed sport coats, instead opt for blends incorporating cotton, silk, flax, linen with just a touch of wool. So as much as it pains me to say it, one of my most favorite materials, tweed, comes from halfway across the world in the chilly highlands of northern Scotland, where its thick, rough, and fuzzy warm texture was developed out of pure necessity for warmth. But perhaps a better example for warm parts of the world is just look for tweed jackets which incorporate fabric woven with the same patterns and coloring, but instead are woven with lighter weight, more breathable natural fibers. Now, granted, these are a little bit more difficult to find. Because these materials are more expensive, they're not something that can be made very cheaply, so I often find some of the best examples in my own closet are ones which I bought in the secondhand market from eBay. More often than not are Polo Ralph Lauren pieces. So if you're on the hunt, simply type in Ralph Lauren silk tweed jacket. You'll find a pretty decent number of search results. But if you'd like to purchase one new, Ralph still offers his range, usually in the spring and summer months, and oftentimes if you shop wisely, you can catch one on the tail end of the season for almost half the price. If you'd like to purchase one new, Ralph still offers his range, usually in the spring and summer months, and oftentimes if you shop wisely, you can catch one at the tail end of the season for almost half the price, like this example here in this rich golden herringbone pattern. For slightly warmer days, you can easily wear it with a pair of gray worsted wool slacks and a lightweight cotton polo shirt in a similar shade for an edgy business casual look. Or if you're all business, throw it on with an Oxford cloth shirt, silk knit tie, a cotton cardigan, and a natural colored jeans down below to help the look firmly rooted in the early days of fall transition. Or here's another way of wearing it for a more weekend appropriate look with a cotton cable knit sweater over your t-shirt and some mid-wash blue jeans and a ball cap. Or for a slightly more affordable option, you can head over to J.crew, who offer this light brown herringbone jacket in an English cotton and wool blend, making it a touch more casual and lighter wearing, but the wool still maintains a true characteristic of the tweed. Because the overall coloring of this jacket reads a little more taupey, it can look really good with those cream jeans as well, and a slightly more washed out or faded cotton plaid shirt which picks up a little bit of the cream color in its check. Or for a slightly more formal situation, you can wear it with some light gray dress trousers, a crisp cotton linen white button down shirt, and a slim fitting thin cotton v-neck sweater for some rich layered earth tones. Save it for the weekend brunch crawl with a long sleeve rugged cotton t-shirt, some mid-wash blue jeans, and brown suede chukka boots to make that t-shirt and jeans feel a little more polished. Or you can check out Todd Snyder, a really elegant cream and black Glen plaid jacket cut in an Italian linen silk fabric for a bit more of a defined pattern. Because this thing reads a little more traditional, it can look great with some cotton linen army green elastic waistband pants to keep it nice and comfy. But then dress it up just slightly with a cotton linen button-down shirt layered underneath another thin cotton v-neck sweater, accessorize it with a pocket square and some penny loafers, and you got a look that's really pulled together, but believe you me, you're going to be very comfy in this thing. Or you can make the pattern a bit more of a statement here, in this case wearing it with some cotton linen blend cream chinos and a cool breezy t-shirt and some chukka boots. It's just a hint of pattern play with this great pattern bandana which you could wear either tied around your neck and tucked into the collar of your shirt, or throw it in your jacket like a pocket square. We finally wear this thing in a super classic, traditional, iconic way with just a clean white cotton linen button-down shirt tucked into some mid-wash blue jeans, your penny loafers, and a fun ball cap, and this jacket really ups the game to a whole nother level. Now, I'm not going to go too far down the line with showing examples of how to wear them, but Spier&Mackay also have some really beautiful jackets, nicely cut in combinations of wool and linen, but they just don't give me a good, clear, flat picture of the jacket to use when I'm putting the looks together, so you gotta use your imagination here. But their pricing is phenomenal, and I've heard really good things about their make. Be warned, they often sell out so fast, it's not very easy to grab one just anytime you want. Number 2, for a more casual jacket alternative, look for unstructured, unlined cotton jackets in deeper earth tones. If your usual outfits don't necessarily run as dressy as needing a full-on tailored sport jacket, these casual, unlined cotton jackets can easily be the next best thing. Lots of retailers run these in the spring and summer months, all kinds of variations of formality. Sometimes you see them cut more like a true sport coat, but this time around I'm going to showcase this piece I found from Tailor Stitch called the Foundation Sport Coat. What I really like about this one is the easy casual patch pockets of the chest and hip, as well as their detailed top stitching throughout the entire garment, which helps to really set this thing into a more rugged casual territory. Picking the espresso and smoked olive colorways as being some of the most versatile colors to start mixing and matching into your fall wardrobe. Keeping deeper, darker shades in this kind of jacket helps to solidify it well into the fall season. So because the cotton is going to have a little bit more character and crumple to it, here I paired it with a classic denim western shirt and its linen cotton blend chinos in a natural color. Throw on those dark brown suede penny loafers down below, just the slightest hint of formality. For a more layered casual look, here you can wear it over a monochromatic base, this time around with a blue t-shirt underneath a navy cable cotton cardigan and some dark wash denim. Brown suede chukka boots help it look to feel polished and rugged at the same time. Or if you choose to go with the olive colorway, you can treat it like a vintage army jacket. Layer over some mid-wash blue denim, blue and white striped cotton linen button down with a thin gray cotton v-neck sweater. Just get a lot of neutrals going on here. Have a little fun with a punch of cherry red in those socks, but keep it classy with some penny loafers. And for really warm days, you can wear it over a mid-blue t-shirt and some cotton linen chinos for a really easy breezy look. But for something that simple, once again, throw on those suede penny loafers, subtle ball cap, and a richly patterned bandana around your neck, and your accessorizing helps to really level up a look otherwise very simple. Number 3, mix in cotton and linen blend pants and shirts with your fall layers. So similar to the unstructured cotton jackets, you'll find a lot of retailers offer cotton linen blend, mostly pants, throughout the spring and summer months. One of the additional benefits of cotton linen being blended together is that if you, like most people, are somewhat turned off by linen because of the fact that it inherently begins to crease and wrinkle every time you wear it, the cotton does help to provide a bit of rigidity and strength to the cloth so that you can enjoy the breezy benefits of a cool linen fabric with slightly less wrinkling. Will these pants and shirts wrinkle? Yes. But remind yourself, if you're in a warm climate, this sense of casual ease should just be a natural characteristic of these materials, and think of it as a personal style choice rather than a flaw. So, to run through a few examples of where you can find these, also a lot happen to be on sale right now since it's the end of summer, Huckberry has a great cotton linen chino which has all the right details, offered in 4 shades. I'm a fan of their natural colorway, which you've seen in a few looks represented to you so far. Banana Republic comes in with a cotton linen blend traveler pant, which is essentially just a 5-pocket in a nice range of shades, as well as an Italian linen cotton pull-on pant, which is basically just an elastic waistband for a little bit of ease and comfort. Here's a look I pulled together, bringing in that denim western shirt and a cotton button-up cardigan for a sort of autumn Mr. Rogers Goes West kind of vibe. The penny loafers, ball cap, and socks help it to feel a little bit more modern. And then on the other end of the spectrum, H&M has a nice slim fit suit and pants in dark beige colorway. Here I paired it with that Todd Snyder silk blend jacket from before and a clean, soft white polo shirt to help play down the formality that comes with wearing a tailored trouser and a sport jacket. H&M's also got regular fit tailored linen blend pant in dark gray, which could easily pull a similar trick to a pair of gray flannels with this beautiful mixed marled heathered gray coloring. Here's a look I pulled together showing how you can wear it in a very fall looking way by layering a rich blue cotton linen blend shirt underneath this beautiful deep forest green cotton cable knit sweater. That sophisticated paisley bandana can pop up once again with some semi-formal penny loafers, help to keep this look feeling nice and dressy. The coloring is considerably dark and moody considering you're wearing a lot of linen and cotton here. And finally, a pair of regular fit linen blend pants which, similar to the Huckberry, could double as a light and airy pair of khaki chinos. And finally, back to Canada's Spier&Mackay. Once again, this time they're button-downs. They offer a pretty substantial linen and cotton blend sport shirt in a wide range of colors and stripes. I have a few of them myself. I gotta say, it's a really nice quality. Not only is their collar roll perfect, but the fabric really exemplifies everything I'm talking about in these shirts because they wear wonderfully cool and comfortable, but still maintain the structure of a heavier cotton shirt. So much so that I wear them well into the fall season, even against sweaters and wool tweed jackets, and they do not immediately scream out summer weight linen shirt. Number 4, in place of a light gray flannel trouser, opt instead for a worsted wool version. I've talked over and over again on this channel about how versatile a pair of light to medium gray flannel trousers can be. They're not always easiest to find, and oftentimes when you do, they can be quite expensive. But I promise their versatility alone can make them a valuable component in everybody's closet. But again, unless you live somewhere where you got a slight chill in the air, the opportunity of wearing a pair of heavy wool flannels might only present itself a few times a year. So another option instead is to keep an eye out for a pair of light to medium gray worsted wool trousers. Worsted wool is woven with a finer, more compact yarn, lending itself to a thinner, more draped, lightweight dress trouser. This is what you typically see in a Super 120's basic business suit from a department store. So you do have to tread lightly here, because you don't want some generic flat color version. In order for this to work, you really got to look for a version that has within it a nice high-low blend of colored yarns to create a similar marled effect found in a wool flannel. So here's a few examples of what I'm talking about. Once again, Spier&Mackay coming in for the win, offering an Australian merino wool all-season weight. Here's another example from Italian Guabello summer weight wool hopsack cloth. Hopsack weave is intended to allow more airflow between the yarns and also provides a really nice nubby texture to prevent the cloth from looking too flat. Or another affordable version comes from England's Charles Tyrwhitt, who throw in this touch of stretch in their heathered gray trousers, along with some distinct details like a ticket pocket and tab extension at the waist. And then for a slightly more true flannel version, but as far as I can tell seems to be more refined, comes from Suit Supply in their Vitale Barbera Super 120 flannel trouser in medium gray. And then finally, everybody's favorite, Ralph Lauren, coming in at the high end with slim fit wool twill dress trouser, which really exemplifies everything I'm trying to relate about the best version of this kind of trouser. Here I got it paired with the Ralph Lauren silk herringbone from before, a striped button down cotton linen shirt, silk knit tie, and some dressy penny loafers. You got a very classic formal look, which will keep you nice and cool. And for an equally classic vibe, this time around, I threw the cotton linen striped shirt layered underneath the cable cotton crew neck, a ball cap, and a cotton Mac trench. Although if it's really gonna rain, maybe skip the suede. And finally, for a little bit of an eclectic mix match, here the worsted is paired with the denim western wear shirt underneath the cotton cardigan, that J.Crew cotton and wool blend tweed jacket from before. This kind of look, the elements can be pretty grandfatherly, but the denim shirt underneath helps to keep it feel a little more eclectic and fun. Number 5, cotton sweaters. This is one of my favorites. To be honest, growing up in Texas before I moved to New York to start working for Ralph Lauren, I had no idea they even made sweaters out of cotton. I just assumed sweaters were always thick and heavy and warm, something you'd only wear in the depths of winter. But I soon learned the subtle differences between, like everything else on this list, material choices, which allowed you to wear a cotton sweater sometimes even the hottest days of summer and still be perfectly comfortable. Because cotton sweaters, like any other sweater, can be made super chunky, open weave, nubby knits like this basket stitch cotton from J.Crew, with a really good color palette, or this organic cotton crew neck sweater from Quince at an even better price. Or they can be woven into a traditional cable knit pattern, a signature Ralph Lauren weave, which is offered both on their website and is oftentimes almost always available at their outlet store at a very reasonable price. All the way through to some very fine gauge thin cotton weaves, almost mimicking a fine gauge merino wool. Here's what I found currently on the Ralph Lauren website, although similarly in the spring months they often offer this style in a huge range of colors. It's also something you can find very easily at outlet stores or from department stores like Macy's, not to mention all over the vintage market on eBay for incredibly reasonable prices. One thing to note with regard to cotton sweaters is that they can be a bit bulky. They do have a tendency to stretch out over time. Quick wash will pull them back into shape, just make sure not to throw them in the dryer. But for this reason, whenever I buy cotton sweaters, I tend to size down 1 or 2 sizes, especially if I plan on layering with them. This is just a personal preference. I thought I'd just throw that out there. And also another favorite cut of mine, incredibly versatile as well. Keep an eye out for some fine gauge cotton cardigans like these from Land's End, or a slightly more casual version from J.Crew. Of course, cardigans can be an excellent layering piece with blazers or all kinds of cotton jackets. Number 6, cream or natural colored trousers or jeans with autumn colors up top, or should I say, don't be afraid of all cream in the fall. And this might seem a little counterintuitive, but I find especially in the early days of fall dressing, you've got this beautiful window of time in which you can bridge the seasons very easily by utilizing a cream or natural color in your pants and then slowly start to integrate more and more fall layers up top. It's this kind of outfit formula which really helps your fall looks to go a long way. Note, I did not say white pants, I said cream or natural, because we don't want to get in trouble for wearing white after Labor Day, But in all reality, sometimes the white can look a little stark or sharp as the colors start to warm up and change further into the season, whereas a slightly sandy neutral or ivory color can stretch out the amount of time you can wear lighter bottoms a little longer. So you can find some great 5-pocket jeans from J.Crew in a color they call Cape Cod Canvas. Ralph Lauren offers a stretch 5-pocket in Hampton's New Stone, and Drake's offers a unique heavy cotton twill pleated trouser in a crew, which really looks like it's got the weight of a denim, but cut into a fancy chino. Awfully pricey, but looks pretty cool. But really, the beauty of this combo is you can start to wear more fall-looking pieces a little earlier in the season while still feeling slightly end of summery. Or you can take a risk and pair your natural colored jeans with some whites and light tans and pull together looks which feel like they should be rooted in the height of summer, but allow you to pull together a range of beiges, creams, tans, and whites for a really distinct, unique autumn look, which still feels light and airy. Which, depending on how you choose to layer, these looks give off a sense of dressing for a cooler season, but still maintain elements of lightness and airiness of warm weather dressing. Number 7, throw some plaid in the mix, but instead of defaulting to brushed cotton flannel shirts, instead keep an eye out for lighter cotton Oxford cloth or plain weaves. Fall season is notoriously synonymous with easy, casual plaid flannel shirts. And don't get me wrong, nothing beats the softness and casualness of a really well-made flannel shirt. But again, unless you live in a climate which lends itself to wearing such a warm button-down, you might get limited use out of them. So I tend to find an easier alternative is look for plaid shirts that are cut in plain cotton or Oxford cloth weaves. Plenty of retailers offer Oxford cloth shirts with a wide range of colorways and patterns without all that extra brushed heat. Classic American brand L.O. Bean always keeps a wide range in stock at all times. Tucked within their wider assortment of flannels, Uniqlo offers some really nice subtle colorways. Specific, yes, but like most pieces from Uniqlo, are always perfectly in good taste. Like this classic blue and green plaid button down here, I paired with some cotton linen chinos and that silk blend herringbone sport coat. And picking up on that green colorway, I added a deep forest green color and the cotton cable knit sweater. Of course, Ralph Lauren keeps his signature Oxford plaid shirts stocked almost year round. You can often find them on sale depending on the time of year, and especially easy on the secondhand market on eBay. Here's a Polo plaid Oxford shirt layered again underneath a cable crew neck sweater, this time around in a hot pink color, tied around with some blue jeans and a trench for a preppy, more colorful take on how to layer your plaids in the fall. Oh, I also threw in the mix Tattersall shirts. Although these are a little bit harder to find in an Oxford weave, I couldn't help but just make sure to include them in a fall layering video because these things scream traditional English autumn and mix easily with a wide range of cotton sweaters, jackets, and jeans, like in this instance, which brings me to my next point, which is number 8, cotton canvas jackets or barn coats. So you're gonna hear a lot about barn coats this year. They're really on trend, especially in women's wear, and there's certainly plenty of retailers who are working in their own variations of this classic East Coast wardrobe staple. So the trend is certainly not without merit. Barn jackets are essentially an Americanized version of the traditional English waxed barber jacket, but the American version forgoes the wax, beefs up the cotton canvas to where it has a great deal of rigidity and structure, and adds a corduroy collar for a little bit of extra warmth around the neck. And if you shop for a barn jacket, traditional retailers like L.O. Bean or Orvis, oftentimes they'll be lined in flannel or quilted on the inside, making them a great utility jacket for chilly winter days. But more often than not, when you look at some of the trendier options out and about, oftentimes you'll find them unlined, which in my opinion actually gives them a wider window of time throughout the year in which you can wear them. Now, because of the recent uptick of popularity of chore jackets, the barn jacket's distinction is actually not that different. So if you ever tried a chore jacket and enjoyed its versatility as a casual weekend layer, the barn jacket will simply be the next best thing. So for a slightly more traditional take, check out J.Crew's 1983 Heritage Barn Jacket with a nice vintage-inspired rounded patch pocket on the front. Here I have it shown with a look where you can play off that rich coffee color by giving the monochromatic base with some blue jeans, a t-shirt, and a cable cotton sweater layered up top. Suede chukka boots help the look feeling simple and rugged for a casual weekend look. Or check out Abercrombie & Fitch, who's offering a crop silhouette to go along with their squared off tees and button downs and wide leg pants silhouette, which runs throughout most of their line. Zara has a version they're calling the Contrast Waxed Effect Jacket. Now yes, I realize Zara is fast fashion, but to their credit, they can do a heavy duty canvas jacket quite well. I got a few myself in my closet, and I find myself wearing them all the time. Oftentimes like this fella here with some cream colored denim and a simple t-shirt. The jacket is heavy duty canvas and washed, which really gives a simple outfit like this quite a dose of an edge. And finally, one of the best looking versions, admittedly I've not seen it in person, but I think it does a really good job of striking a balance between a Barber jacket and an American barn coat, is H&M offering their waxed cotton jacket for 85 bucks. Because this is another nice trick with cotton canvas outerwear, it's inherently a rugged, durable, cheaply made garment, which is intended to not be so precious. So there's very little reason why you can't get a good heavy-duty vintage Carhartt or a fast fashion H&M version, because this is what mass manufacturing does incredibly well. Durable, heavy-duty outerwear, which does not require a great deal of refined sewing expertise to produce. So when it comes to putting looks together with these heavy canvas jackets, their classic versatility really does a lot of the talking in these outfits. Wear it with a sweater and cream jeans, or go for the full English, think about styling them as you would in an old English country estate. Or finally throw it on with those heathered gray linen trousers from earlier and a more refined cotton linen striped shirt and a cotton sweater combo, and add some loafers and a ball cap for a nice high-low mix. So generally these cotton canvas heavy-duty jackets, whether they be barn jackets or some variation thereof, are one of my favorite go-to fall items because they're just so easy to finish out in almost any look you pair it with. And it gives your looks a nice, warm, rugged fall feel the instant you throw them on. So there you have it, 8 tips and tricks and some 30-odd looks you can pull together with this handful of suggestions. Because I think the running theme with a lot of these looks, although it doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but at least helps to create a lot of visual interest, is layering. Layering is really the key to defining the look of the cooler seasons ahead. Now sure, layering obviously is a functional idea which provides warmth, but it also creates a great deal of opportunity for really unique looks which can be made out of complementary and contrasting colors and textures and materials, giving you a chance to utilize the full artist palette out of a handful of different items in your wardrobe every time you put an outfit together. This was one of the biggest lessons I took away when I began to learn about the variety of material choices available in classic pieces, is that it's possible to consistently layer and create interesting outfits almost year-round if you're considerate of some of the inherent attributes which all natural fibers can provide to you. So I hope you all enjoyed this journey into warm weather fall layered dressing. If you're hungry for more, I suggest head on over to the link in the description down below and help support the channel a little further by becoming a distinguished gentleman patron, and I'll send your way the monthly Some Notes on Style notebook where I collect up a couple hundred inspirational tear sheet images to present to you all each month, further rounding out some of the topics I talk about here on YouTube. And for those that have become my patrons already, as always, I thank you greatly for helping keep these videos coming. And if you all enjoyed watching the episode, click that thumbs up button. If you enjoy the channel, click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Once again, the channel is Some Notes on Style. I'm your host, Joseph. See you again next time, guys. Bye.